Hey guys, and welcome back to another flashlight review. Today we're going to be looking at the new Sofirn IF23 Pro. It's a highly anticipated flashlight that a lot of you have been asking me about on the channel, asking me to review it. So I ended up reaching out to Sofirn and they provided me this sample for review. And Sofirn haven't paid me to make this video and also haven't held back on any negative opinions of this light either. So yeah, let's start a bit with the basics. The IF23 Pro, if those of you who aren't really familiar with the original IF23 and the IF24, it's a series of flashlights basically, but the 23 Pro is a great example of a do-it-all flashlight. So it's something I'm starting to see a lot more these days with manufacturers putting in a few different features, a floodlight, a throwy sort of light, and some RGB light. Some of them even come with UV LEDs as well. But this one here comes with the main light here at the top. So that's rated at 5,000 lumens, this LED here. And you've got some side floodlights, these little yellow LEDs here. And these can also be customized to various sort of tints. So you can go from warm to cooler tint. There's also some RGB lights here that you can customize as well, change their colors. So yeah, this light is quite similar to the IF24 Pro, except the 23 Pro comes with a few extra things. So yeah, with this LED panel, you do get extra LEDs on there. I'll go through that in a second when I actually bring the IF24 on screen. But yeah, I like that the 23 Pro comes with a buck driver. So that's the main difference, I suppose, from the IF23. There's also been some additional upgrades. So this selector wheel here, the LED panel as well, looks like there's extra LEDs in there. It's also a little bit larger than the original IF23. So yeah, I really think this is a pretty good upgrade considering what they've added. The buck driver on the IF23 Pro is only on the main channel. Okay, so just with this main LED up there, and that's going to improve efficiency and also allow for sustained brightness and output levels. So let's have a look at what you get in the box. So obviously you get the light, and Sofirn also include a 21700 cell. This one's rated at 5,000 milliamp hours. So yeah, significantly more than your typical 18650 cell. And this is the box that it comes in. There are some specs here. You can also pause the video and read those specs if you want. On the side of the box here, there's also just some little information, 6,000 to 6,500K. You also get some accessories, so standard O-rings, spare O-rings, a lanyard. You also get a USB-C charging cable as well. Okay, so here's a little side-by-side comparison with the IF24 Pro underneath. And you can tell the IF23 Pro is significantly larger, but still, you know, I wouldn't say it's more than 20-25% larger than the IF24 Pro at most. And some differences is the IF23 Pro produces 5,000 lumens. The 24 Pro produces 2,000 lumens. So there's quite a big difference in output. And there's some upgraded LEDs you can see here on the panel. There's almost twice the number of these little LEDs compared to the IF24 Pro there. So you're going to get some extra brightness, of course. And you know, with the 24 Pro, it comes with an 18650 cell, but underneath the head as well, there are some differences. So the 24 Pro uses an SFT40 with the TIR lens, whereas you've got the XHP70B here, the 23 Pro with a orange peel reflector. But it's still pretty throwy and is, you know, competitive with the IF24 Pro still. I also like that Sofirn have fixed that issue where basically when you turn the bezel, this little rotating switch, the LEDs come on automatically. So when you do it on the 23 Pro, check that out. nothing happens, which is great, because if you've got it in your pocket and yeah, you accidentally knock that switch, you don't want it to turn on in your pocket. All right, so a little close-up of the IF23 Pro, and you know, I would say it's a tube style design. You know, the one side is flat for those side panel lights. Overall construction, I would say, is pretty good. You know, it looks and feels well constructed. You know, there's no rough spots, inconsistencies. Even the clip feels pretty good, rigid. The coating on it as well seems thick. And I'll describe the anodizing as, you know, matte black, fairly grippy, and it's evenly applied. These little cutouts here, shallow kind of cutouts on the side of the light, I thought they were mainly for aesthetic purposes, but it does also help to, you know, grip the light if you're holding it on the side. You've also got a little bit of knurling here on the tail cap just to help you unscrew it. And the light is operated via this single aluminium switch under the head. So like I was demonstrating before, you just rotate the switch to go between light sources, and that center button allows you to switch between modes, turn on and off the light. I do like this blue accent as well. Just gives it a nice finishing touch, nice and a premium touch, I guess. And yeah, the button also serves as a battery indicator, as you can see when you turn the light on or just press the button and lock. And on the right hand side of the light here, you've got a USB-C charging port under that port cover. And yeah, when it's charging, this light will turn on, this little button light, to indicate that the light is charging. And yeah, I do like that Sofirn have included a deep carry clip. There's something I don't like about clips that hang a little bit too far down the light. The light sticks out your pocket, and yeah, I don't know, it just attracts too much attention. But yeah, I still like being able to grab it out of my pocket where I need to. Okay, so quick look under the bezel, and there's that XHP70B, again, between 6,000 and 6,500K, and you've got that orange peel reflector there. And the side panel, you do have this stainless steel retaining ring, forgot to mention, which is quite a nice touch, another premium touch as well. This side panel is actually made of glass, which is awesome. You know, you've basically got, it gives a much more premium touch. It's kind of frosted as well, so it's not completely clear. It does appear that way on camera, but yeah, it is slightly frosted. And yeah, with glass, you're obviously going to get, you know, increased light transmission, increased durability as well. And the LEDs here, I've actually counted them all. There's 59 LEDs in total. So 14 of them are the RGB LEDs, which are run right down the center. And then the remainder of them are a mixture of cool and warm flood light LEDs. Actually, a slight difference in color, you might be able to tell. And yeah, like I said before, this is almost twice the number of LEDs than you find in the IF24 Pro. So let's go through the UI. At the moment, I've got the light on the lock mode, as you can see, with just that little indicator. So if you try to do anything on that lock mode, basically you just get that battery indicator. And we go into the main light mode here. So this one with the sun kind of setting there, when you press once, you can switch the light on and off. You can press and hold from off as well to get a moonlight mode there. And once the light is on, you basically press and hold for low, medium, high. As usual, double press for turbo. If you double press again, you get strobe. Double press again for SOS, and another double press for beacon mode. So swap over here to the side panel. So yeah, basically click once to switch on and off, and you can press and hold for this little moonlight mode there as well. When you're on, you can press and hold to ramp up and down the brightness. Okay. And essentially, if the light is off and you double click, it goes to the high mode first, and then you press again and it goes into turbo. And double press again, you get strobe, SOS, and beacon. So it's pretty much the same UI as the main spotlight. Now, something really cool I found out was that you can actually adjust the color temperature. So if you double click but hold on the second click, it will alternate between these LEDs. So now I've got like the cooler LEDs on. Pressing and holding again. There we go. We've now selected just the warm LEDs, and I'm trying to just make sure you can see this properly on camera. I have to really reduce the brightness down, otherwise they just aren't visible. But yeah. And if you want to go back to the main one, that's all you do. Just press and hold until both of the LEDs both sides of these LED strips are on. So moving on to the RGB lights, it's just this icon here. You can see I've actually got the red mode activated, and it's just a single click to turn on and off. Press and hold to change the light. It's all the different, it's all the different modes, different colors, I guess. Okay, so it kind of just goes from a lot of cooler to warmer lights. And you can also double click in order to go to some other mode. So that's like a flashing mode. It just memorizes whatever light, whatever color you had it stopped on before. Another police flashing mode. There's a rainbow mode here. RGB waterfall, droplet mode, and neon fade mode. So a lot of these I'm probably not going to use. I think just the normal color mode is good enough for me, and I normally just select something that's pretty warm to use at night. So I ran a bunch of ceiling bounce tests, and this is the first one here on turbo using the XHP70B, the main LED. And you can see the light maintains 90 to 100% output on turbo before stepping down around the 1 minute mark quite sharply. And you can see by the 5 minute mark, you're on about 40% output. It then steps down a little bit further at the 6 minute mark, 6 to 7 minute mark, to about 30% where it remained for the rest of the test. And you can see it run the test for 25 minutes. I ran a second ceiling bounce test on the high mode and managed to pretty much get the same 100% output throughout the duration of the test. And again, that was a 25-minute test. That's good news. So you get a good regulated output there. I also ran a test with the side mode on, and that was on turbo. And you can see there's, for that 25-minute test, that slow downward trajectory of the graph. And that's quite common with unregulated lights. So as the battery voltage drops, the brightness also drops, which is as expected because the side panel doesn't have any regulated driver there. So I also ran a bunch of tests with my Opel Lightmaster Pro, and you can see on that spot mode turbo, I got 231 meters of throw, which is pretty impressive given how small that reflector is in there. It is an orange peel reflector too. And even on high, 123 meters, definitely nothing to be laughed at. And that is sustainable output as well and throw. I also ran a bunch of tests with the side LEDs on, and you can see here, basically you don't get a whole lot of throw, between 30 to 39 meters of throw on both high and turbo. But the CRI was a lot higher. You can see 97 CRI. So if you're actually using these side lights to recognize colors for, it could be due to your job, or maybe you prefer to use those type of lights outside, that's a really good sign. And they're also a lot warmer with both of those warm and cool LEDs turned on, the CCT came up to around 4,600K, whereas you can see on the spot mode, CRI was fairly low, between 62 to 75. That's as expected with the light that's not designed for color recognition, more for output, and a lot cooler, as you can see, between 6,000 to 7,000K. The IF23 Pro produces a huge wall of light, and you get a large diffused hotspot right in the center as well. And yeah, I think the light has, like I said, surprisingly good range just due to the sheer amount of light that it produces. And yeah, I do like that we have that side light option as well. It's handy for closer up situations. You can even use it as a walking light. Any situation essentially where you need some soft diffuse light, even for reading, just reduce that brightness all the way down. Some considerations to keep in mind before you get the IF23 Pro. The LED in here, that XHP70B, it's a great LED, produces a heap of light, but personally I would have preferred something like an XHP 70.3 high in there, something that's de-domed and can throw a lot further. But in terms of how Sofirn would implement that, I'm not sure, because large LEDs like this can be very difficult to focus, especially throwier ones, and they just require a larger reflector to focus them properly. So you'd probably end up with an annoying donut hole. So in that case, I'd prefer something like this. And yeah, second consideration, that side light, like I mentioned, has a FET driver. So yeah, as that battery voltage drops, the light is only just going to get dimmer rather than maintaining constant output. Not a huge deal for me. I don't think I'm going to be using this as the main light. I mean, you've got that one there that you can increase and decrease brightness levels as well. So yeah, I think that I might use as a camping light, maybe a reading light. And in that case, I'm not too concerned about it dropping in brightness. Third consideration is I wish Sofirn had added an option in here to dim these RGB lights as well. I do find them a little bit too bright sometimes, especially for use at night. Yeah, because you can do that with the floodlights. So if they just added another option where if you press and hold or something, you could double click and hold on the second click, it would reduce and increase the brightness. I think that would be good, but yeah, not a deal breaker. So overall, I was really impressed with the Sofirn IF23 Pro. I think it's a great all-in-one flashlight, and it's perfect if you're someone who needs a long-range flashlight and a floodlight in the same package. The 21700 cell is going to be a lot more useful for you guys if you're taking long trips. I know for some of you, the 18650 cell that you get in the IF24 Pro doesn't quite cut it. Maybe the brightness levels too. And this LED here, the XHP70B, can be very, very efficient on the lower modes as well. So you can put it on a low mode and you can produce maybe 2000 lumens with less power to the LED. So yeah, I think this one here is like the bigger brother. And yeah, if you want extra performance, don't mind the extra size. I do like the addition of these RGB lights. I know for some people they find them annoying, but I like to use the red light and the yellow kind of amber modes at nighttime. And yeah, the fact that you can replace the battery easily as well, that's going to definitely sway some of you. Instead of buying, those flat style flashlights that have a built-in battery, they have similar features, smaller, but yeah, once that battery goes, you pretty much need to buy another flashlight. And yeah, of course, the buck driver makes a huge difference. So if you're interested in getting one of these, go ahead and check out the video description. I'll put a link down below where you can get a discount for this flashlight. If you have questions, maybe something I haven't covered, leave it down below in the comments and I'll get back to you. if you like this video as well, do me a favor and click the like button. It helps me to get my channel out to more people and this video as well. And yeah, if you want to see more flashlight reviews, make sure you subscribe. Sofirn IF23 Pro, and I'm just going to go from the low modes and just step up. So low, medium, high. That's your high mode there. And it's a little bit misty out here tonight. A little bit misty. There's some moisture in the air. Even the low mode is pretty good. I can actually see into that field. Difficult to tell on camera, but yeah, medium is a little bit more noticeable on camera. And I tell you what, even this medium mode is more than enough light. It's a huge amount of light, really. And high mode, this one doesn't step down even, which is really impressive. You can see the spill just starts pretty much from the ground in front of me. Turbo. Wow. This is really something. You know, and with that, like I said, with that moisture in the air as well, it's performing extremely well. And what I'll do is that I'm actually going to compare it to the IF24 Pro. Okay, so that low, this is the IF24 Pro now, medium, high, and you can see there's less spill on the IF24 Pro, but you've got some decent throw. And if you compare the throw beams of both, the long range performance of both, you can see it's definitely, it's got an edge. The IF23 Pro still has an edge. I mean, both of them are hitting the trees out the back, but you can definitely see the intensity of that IF24 Pro beam. It's just got a more focused hot spot. Less light, it's producing a lot less light overall. I mean, if you look at that, that's the 23 Pro, and then you got the 24 Pro. So, I mean, this just lights everything up. Ridiculous, whereas this has got just a much more focused hot spot. Just reactivate again. And both of them have buck drivers in them, handling the heat very well. It is a little cold tonight though. For Melbourne standards anyway, it's about 13 degrees Celsius. Okay. But I'll tell you the main difference is just that the amount of light produced. You've got more than twice the amount of light being produced on the IF23 Pro. So if you're someone who needs that extra light or wants that extra light, I mean, that's the one to get. Just again, side by side, you can really see big difference in the beam profiles. I'll go for a bit of a walk with the IF23 Pro, and you'll be able to see the beam profile a bit better. IF23 Pro, and on moonlight, can't really see much. Let's go to low. This is a short on a shorter range distance. Medium, high. The medium and high are more than enough, but look at that. That's the 5000 lumen mode. It drowns everything out. It actually looks just like this in person. Jeez. What I'll do is that I'll also demonstrate some of the side light modes, so just the floodlight mode in a moment, but just wanted to show you the 3 main modes: low, medium, high. Okay, and remember, this high mode here is sustainable. So, I mean, that's really impressive if you ask me. I think it should be, I'm not sure exactly how many lumens this is, 1000 and something lumens maybe, but quite impressive. 5000 lumens, jeez, that's, yep, again, it's just making easy work of this area. I'll go up for a bit of a walk, and like I said, I'm just going to show you the main beam, and then I'll play around with the side lights. So this is the side light mode, and it's activated on turbo.